Hi, Susie. How are you? Yeah, Mobile Patrol. Huh? Mobile Patrol, I know where from. It's so needed. One of those GoPro live streaming videos.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. Can I have order in the room, please? Thank you. Thank you. Some of you are wondering who I am and why I'm calling this meeting to order. My name's Ed Weigel. We're going to approve some minutes, and here in a few minutes that we posted on our website, you'll be able to view the criteria we used to come to these decisions. I've been elected your president. I'll serve Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise, and it quits raining. I'll be here till December 31st. Also, Mr. Andy Kearns, who is not here tonight, was elected vice president, and he also will serve until December 31st. At that time, there will be 2 vacant seats, the one I have and the one that Andy has. So you'll select, I believe, 3 candidates in the next election. It'll be a very important election for this association, as it'll decide probably the majority influence on the board. So I pledge to everybody that I'll do my best to pull this community together in the next 6 months. I think that we've got a lot of positive things going on. I spent my first day on the job today, and it was a rewarding experience. I've served on the board before in 5 years. I've been treasurer, been vice president. Never was president. I never wanted to be. I want to be this time. And I want to try. It was good to see, I started off in the Public Works Department. It was good to see some people I hadn't really seen for a while. James, Kent, Rob. Met the 2 new gentlemen that I hadn't seen, Jacob and I'm lost. Went to the office and met with Tammy. She was very helpful all day. Gary and I were there. She was helping us look up information. Very helpful. Ann's on vacation. Ann works Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. So we were posting on Tammy. Laura is on vacation this week. So So we were, she was busy trying to answer the phone and start off Monday morning. It was a little bit hectic in there. So I tried to get out of there pretty quick. Met with the Chief Cook, and it was good to see him. There were some issues came up that he had to deal with. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him, but it was a very, very good day. I met Jonathan Moore for the first time, and we discussed the happenings and going on in the fire department, and had a nice chat. So that was my first day, and it's going to culminate in a very productive meeting tonight, I hope, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's get with it, and the first thing on the agenda, it's going to be a short meeting because I've been president 2 days and I don't know much. So that'll be evident as we proceed. We need to approve the agenda, which everyone has, and I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll move on, and we're going to approve the minutes of June 11th, 2019. These minutes will be posted on our website after they're approved. I'm going to give everybody a few more seconds to read it. I wasn't at it, so I'm not going to vote on it. So as soon as you guys figure out if that's what happened.
There's copies in here.
Pardon?
There's copies up here.
Oh, we got copies of the minutes?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, copies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, ma'am. There are some handouts up here. I was going to get to these when we get to the financial. Okay. Let's stick with the minutes on the minutes of the meeting of June 11th. Someone was there needs to make a motion to either accept them or revise them.
That's what he said.
Remember, these are going to be posted on the website. If there's any revisions you want to make now, make them. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I thought that had already been done.
A second. Motion. All those in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. Now we're going to move on to the minutes of June 15th. This was the one that, I'll tell you briefly, I was at this one. But basically, they'll be on the website, but just so you're aware of what happened. That was the one that I was elected president, and the vote was 4-1 to do that. Wait a minute. 4-1 because I didn't vote for me. The next item was to elect the vice president, and Andy Curran was elected vice president. Gary Keithley talked about the last meeting concerning the TDL financials. Gary stated that he did not get all of his materials back from the TDL police. He also said that he had checked with, I believe it was Tammy, and that Crouch and Farley is our auditors, and they're going to come in June 26th, 2019 to audit our 2018 income statements. And then what followed next was a general discussion of my expectations. And I asked for some no votes, but a guidance from the board and what my intentions were. And I suggested to them that I would present them at a later date with an organization chart that would show all of the employees. And the one change existing to the present structure would be that I was going to move the fire department reporting directly to the president of the association rather than through the police department. I explained to them what I thought the structure would be, that the rest of the people, employees would report directly to me, and then I would report directly to the board. Gary Keithley is going to set up a finance committee and work on some new accounting systems. There's several reasons for that, but I won't go into them because they're not in the minutes. Explain again, our meetings require a 5-day notice, and the next open meeting is going to be June 17th, which is this one. And then also the last item was Andy Kearns and Ed Weibel are to investigate the association's needs regarding legal representation on July 26, 2019. That's those minutes. I would entertain a motion. Guys, you're all there.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from 6:15.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No changes? Does everybody?
So it was Mike Miller and
Yeah.
it was Mike Miller
Okay,
and
Gary
what's his
Keithley's gonna
name
give us the treasurer's report.
that approved it.
And,
to make
and
motion.
also, we need to approve bills at this meeting. And so we're gonna approve some bills. The board previewed the bill, and several of the board members had questions, and I think we might have got them answered today, so we'll, if you've got your check register, we'll review that now.
The bills for the month of May.
Can't hear you, Gary.
The bills for the month of May total sum $92,147. Some of the big items that's included in that $92,000. We had insurance payments of $13,800. We had road improvements for most of it, gravel that we bought, $12,900. We also spent $3,900 on the lifestyle that we sent out in June. All the other items are small items, and when you consider that we only spent $92,000, and that's, I just need approval, authorize the payments.
Did everybody get their questions answered that we had from
From our meeting on Saturday.
the one, somebody had asked about, we had a Visa card for $9,000, and they wanted to know the credit limits. The credit limit, I didn't get it pinned down exactly today, but I think it's 4 per department, with one department with a 2, which would give us a $10,000 credit limit for the credit cards. We're gonna review that. This was one that, it was primarily chemicals for the lake. We need to pay the bills, gentlemen. So, Mr. Cole, there's a motion to pay the bills. Do I hear a second? Adam, thank you. Motion a second to pay the bills. The financials that were up here, I hope reflect, they do reflect our financial condition. All a financial statement is a snapshot in time. And this snapshot is for May 31st, and it's a year-to-date. The balance sheet is really a clean balance sheet. It's straightforward. The income statement is one that I summarized the income statement that we normally get. And the reason I summarized it, we discussed a little bit, but the income statement that our system produced was not an acceptable work product for me to present to you as an association. We first reviewed that, I believe, on Wednesday, asked for some corrections to be made. There was an attempt to correct them. That didn't result in a satisfactory product for me. So the total numbers are right as presented by our current system. I think our system has some flaws, but on balance, it meets the criteria for generally accepted accounting principles. It's passed muster on the last 4 audits. I think it would pass muster on an audit today.
Why is this not straight?
It's just, if I presented the statements that were given to us, it would create more questions than it would resolve, because some of them are management documents and to be used for management. And they're totally, they were lacking in a lot of information. For example, they did not have the budget in it for May, nor the year-to-date budget in it. So it's hard to measure your progress unless you're measuring it against a plan. So if I would have given you an income statement with the budget showing all zeros, you'd have asked me questions, and I would have said, well, we didn't get around to putting it in there. And so I didn't, in order to confuse the issue, and there's several other issues in there, I decided to make this supplemental income statement. So the other reason, one of the reasons why we didn't have a treasurer's report, I'm going to ask the board tonight to approve these financials. I have a high degree of confidence in them. I think that we need to work with some misclassified things, like I know when I was talking to Cody this morning, he had some things that should have been included in one's expense category, they were in another one. That happens, it's a normal thing. I think there's some in a couple asset accounts, not really anything that get too upset about. It's fixable, doesn't going to change any of our income any. So, but as Gary and I were talking through this, he is responsible for doing the treasurer's report. And he has his criteria for being able to give himself assurance that things are as they should be. Because of our lack of time and lack of support staff, we haven't been able to reach that level of confidence for Gary. So I told him, if you can't sign the treasurer's report with full confidence, don't sign it. We'll get to it. It's just going to be a matter of time, but we'll get it up to where you think it should be. Gary and I worked together for several years, and I respect his judgment on the treasurer's report. The accounting system, on the other hand, has a lot of accruals in it, and that affects his ability to track cash. And until we determine all of those for Gary, we're not going to be able to produce a good treasurer's report, one that he will be willing to sign. So with that explanation, I would ask that we approve the year-to-date financials for May 31st. I have a motion, do I have a second? Having no second, we'll move on. The first thing I have here is the police report, and I'm sorry I didn't get you the correct copy today. Can you do it from memory?
No, but I'll be brief. I talked to Chief Cook today, and it completely slipped my mind getting the monthly report, so I don't have it. The only thing I can say is probably most people are aware of the incident that happened last Friday or the Friday investigation, and as a board, we will discuss and let everybody know what the outcome is. I have 4 people left to talk to that were involved, and that's all I'm gonna say until I can take all the data
Should the
back.
police department handle the investigation?
Thanks, Mike.
And the referral from the police department?
Cody Gillette,
They're just
could you give us an
investigating
update on
themselves.
what's happening in the Public Works Department?
Yeah.
You care about the Q&A
Oh,
too?
use mine.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Gonna do a little bit different this go round, since it's been a while since, anybody's had any updates on the public works, but, I'm gonna run through some of the big stuff and do a quick Q&A if that's okay with everybody. Try to make it fast. First and foremost, I got off the phone with, Anthony Wallace with Leadbelt, on my way here. This is news to them. They're gonna try to be here Thursday, given the rain and everything, so, what they're gonna be overlaying is what we've been prepping for the past several months, is North Capri. We're gonna do the gravel section of Rue Andre, where it touches, it'll connect basically to asphalt. We are gonna do some asphalt intersections that are gravel, more so just to keep the loose gravel off of North Capri. Yeah, so we've been spending a lot of time on North Capri, replacing culvert pipes. Gotta say the department did one that, with the help of others, that was quite a project, but they did a great job. It was a 36-inch by 60-foot pipe. Actually carries a lot of Lake Darcy spillway overflow. So yeah, and I don't know if anybody's been down North Capri, but we've got a lot of surface areas that are cut out. Those were spots where the roads were basically just pumping clay. Rock those, a good 12 inches of base. We're gonna pave over the top of that. So should end up with a good product. We'll have to worry about any culvert pipes, stuff like that. So that is coming up. We did place the artificial fish structures in Lake Shane this year. For those of you who don't know, we've been spending some time in the winter making some artificial fish habitats. There's already 10 in Marseille, 10 in Lafitte, now there's 10 in Shane. So the idea is we rotate the lakes, hopefully get some in every lake. We did treat the vegetation, try to do that early this year so it didn't blow up on us like it has in the past. Right now, every lake, including the small lakes, has been treated, with the exception of Shane. It is on the list, but when we looked at it, it didn't look too bad just yet, so didn't want to waste the chemical if we didn't have to. Again, 2 different kinds of chemicals. Both are green chemicals, no swimming restrictions or anything like that. So let's see, reset the lake buoys. We've had a total year-to-date permits, 84. We're probably 2 months ahead of schedule on permits. And then we've issued 50 property violations year-to-date. One other big thing that's going on is the EPA. EPA's out here full force. Well, they're contractors anyway. It's Eagle Eye and EnviroWorks. I had my reservations going into communications with these guys, you know, a year or 2 years ago. I've been very hesitant. I have to say they have an open line of communication. I asked them to stay off the intersection of Rue Cherie because that's one we were paving and we've already got it prepped. There was a truck down there. I shot them an email. 2 minutes later, the truck was moved. So they've been fantastic. I think they've actually finished buttoning up one with sod, maybe 2. They're making a lot of good progress. I've got 11 permits open on it now. Again, those are free permits. It's more of just a communication so we know when you guys are starting. But there's 8 projects going on right now. Their target is 100 this year, 100 next year, and 100 following year. So that would end their 3-year contract, and again, there'll be more. So let's see. Okay. For this month, so that was the month of May. For this month, I'm going to try to catch up on the road mowing. We usually have a pass down. Kind of had to spot mow here lately, but we're going to try to knock that out. We're going to try to set the fence structure and the boulders at the front roundabout project. Been wanting to jump on that, rain, everything else. We've also started prepping the Lake Marseille Jim Kwan Memorial Project. For you guys don't know, the Kwan family is donating a pavilion and a concrete pad pour down at Lake Marseille. So similar to what's at Capri, Lake Marseille was really neat, and it's a fantastic gesture for them. So that's all I got. If anybody's got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
What Thursday was the first start?
This Thursday. Yeah, so, which is good because the asphalt index did go up for the month of June, but we should be locked in for June. He's going to give me a price for the change.
How was it? Price?
I don't know off the top of my head. It was less than $60 a ton again. So it's for those that you don't know. I mean, we spend probably close to $60 a ton just for us to drive our trucks to the plant to get it. They're hauling it, paving it, rolling it for $55, $60 a ton. So it's pretty cost effective. I've been advised too with the recent flooding, oil isn't, it's not in a shortage, but the transportation for that oil could potentially drive the price up. So getting them in now in June is going to keep the price down. So that's a huge factor. So it'll save us some money. So.
What road closures? Road closures?
Yeah, we've got Rue Andre, the gravel section, closed right now. That was mainly just for the prep work. We've spent quite a bit of time on that prep work. Wanted to have it clean when they got there. I'm going to anticipate that they're going to take 2 to 3 days paving North Capri. So we'll post on our website, our Facebook page, the road closures, but expect some traffic delays over and around that area. But once they're out of there and they're rolling, you guys feel free to drive on it. It should be fine. So.
For us poor fishermen, could we get a map of those fishing tractors?
Sure. To be honest with you, I mapped them out and I went fishing and I'm the one that sunk them. And I can give you a ballpark idea where they are. So, rule of thumb, anytime we sink those things, we're looking for 12 to 16 foot of water in the back of the coves for a lot of reasons. But if you want to fish around there, I'm sure you'll find them eventually.
Did you say there were 100 homes here that are going to have the remediation?
So there's 300 plus. I think it's like 309 on this contract, and it's a 3-year contract. So they're going to try to knock out 100 a year. And again, that's the first 3-year contract. So they'll be here for quite some time. There's quite a few properties in Terre du Lac, I think, that's tested. I talk to people every day that their property's been tested and they've not even had a call back. So it's going to be a long time deal. I think Raintree, we met with Raintree. They were in Raintree for over 10 years. So that's why it's so crucial to have this good communication with these contractors and start off on the right foot. I mean, they've got scales at every job, so they're not overloaded. They're actually running fairly small trucks, except for when they're bringing their dirt in. I just can't say much. I can't say any more for their communication. They've been great. Jason Gunter with EPA has been great. So I'm excited. I think we got a good contractor in here. Look forward to getting these projects done. They've done a great job. The ones I've seen buttoned up, they look really nice. So.
Do you have any idea what the homeowner cost is for that?
That is actually a free service to the homeowner. We do have a permit, which is free. So basically, all you got to do is contact them. They'll test your property. If it tests a certain amount, then they'll get you on the list. So.
There is it's on County Road, heading towards house. The road got all torn up there. Is that something that we have to repair? The county?
County's going to repair that. I believe that was a utility cut, but the county will repair their road. So I'm thinking they're probably going to wait a week or so, let it pack in, and then they'll come out and patch. John Gross called me last week when they had the bridge, or week before last when they had Virginia closed, and he mentioned that they'll be out within the next week or two probably to button that up. So.
Are you getting Miller in there too?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gillette. Jonathan, would you like to say a few words?
Good evening. Can everybody hear me? I really don't want to hold the microphone.
So I was just gonna give the fire report for the month of May. We had 19 calls total, 17 resulted in EMS, 2 of those were fire. None of them, neither one of the fires resulted in a total loss of anything really. One was an electrical fire and I think the other one was a brush, which didn't cause any major damage to anything. But I did also want to mention that we are still doing the Sound the Alarm program with our partnership with the Red Cross to install smoke detectors in anybody's household if they would like them. We can install up to 3 free of charge. We will be the ones coming to install them. The sign-up list is at the firehouse. So that's really all I have. Yes?
Do you also do the carbon monoxide?
Not at this time. Just because if there is a carbon monoxide problem, probably a result of a fire most of the time because we don't have natural gas out here for the most part. But that is something the Red Cross is looking to do in the future, just not at this time. Bye. Thank you.
Just want to mention that tonight we heard from some of the department heads. In the next open communication meetings, we're going to hear more from the committees. We've got several active committees. We're trying, I'm a believer in committees. A committee helps the department heads, and if they don't, they're not serving the purpose of what a committee's for. Some people have special talents, and they can dedicate those talents to help in different areas. It's evidenced by probably the volunteer fire department, people with special talents. Probably that's a good example of them giving back and helping the community. Lifestyles is another good example. The organization chart that I'm putting together will list all of the communities and the members of those communities. You can't list all of the committees because we have a lot of special events committees, as everybody knows. But we do have some standing committees. The president of the association is an automatic member of every committee. So if I want to, I can go to the committee meetings. One thing I would like to require the committees to do is to have an agenda and minutes, and then we can circulate to the board and they know what the committees are working on. Cody's got several committees. He's got a Lakes and Dams Committee. I shouldn't mention the names, but I'll forget somebody, so I'm not going to mention names. But anyway, we look forward to sharing this audience, the committee members, to tell you what their expectations are, and hopefully to inspire some people that want to get involved and have a special talent to join one of the committees if they see an option there. That being everything that we have on the agenda, I'm going to adjourn, and we're going to use a little bit different criteria for this meeting. Anyone that wants to speak, we have a sign-up sheet. We have a microphone. I thought we would have a lot more speakers than we have tonight, and so I was going to limit it to 3 minutes, but I don't think we'll have any limit. The first one that, let me say this too before we get started. It's my position, not the board's position, my own personal position. I won't talk about any pending litigation. The only thing I will say is that our next date that I'm aware of for dealing with pending litigation is going to be July the 26th. That's the next event that I know of. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what we're planning to. I'm not speaking for everybody on this board. I'm speaking for me. All right, I want to tell that before we got adjourned. They won't let me talk about adjournment. Okay, so with that guideline, feel free to ask anybody up here any question. The format I was going to follow was you ask the question, the board will have a chance to respond. Okay? So the first one up would be Carol, okay, Carol Gilmore, okay. I'm sorry, Carol. Oh, I need a motion to, you're right, I'm sorry. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second. What time is it?
7:30.
Okay, 7:30, quickly, good deal. All right, sorry, your time.
I don't get to attend these meetings very often. I've been very upset with what has been going on with our association. I think that Ms. Pope, Ms. Tilley, and Mr. Reisner have brought disgrace to our association, and I'm very sad that it has happened. One of the reasons that I'm here tonight, and Gary kind of touched on it a little bit, is having an audit. But I am requesting the board to look into getting a forensic audit. I really think it's something that we need. I know it'll be costly. I think it should be done within the last 7 to 10 years. There have been many, even when I was on the board, we always got hit with stuff, things, easy things, payouts with no receipts. That's accounting 101. That should be taken care of with no questions asked. I also think that, and I also want to thank the board for having our members back. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to see that you have taken over as president. I appreciate that very much. My other request is that we have Ms. Pope removed as general manager. It was voted on. It was voted on by the people of the association. We have less than 30 people. Each department has their own department head. They can report to the board. It's not necessary to have a general manager. A general manager is supposed to do that. We've lost our ISO rating. It goes down the board. Mr. Tilley was over the whole fire department. He should have gotten with his people to get the information they needed. Mr. Cook, our safety director, he should have known that was coming. He should have gotten with Mr. Tilley, gotten all that taken care of. As general manager, Ms. Pope should have also been on top of all of it. As it turns out, it's costing each and every association member probably $140,000, if not more, for all of us. And if you don't believe me, call your insurance agent, because he will tell you that your insurance has gone up. For these reasons, I'm asking that we don't need a general manager. The general manager we have, she was told many times, even when I was on the board, you need to cross-train your members. You need to cross-train your office staff. That has not been done. This TOPS program that we have, apparently she was the only one that knew how to do it. Well, unfortunately, when Mr. Keithley was not allowed in the office anymore, she was the only one with the information, and that's not right. You have to have a checks and balance. You have to have people to know what to do from one area to another. I've only worked in one office where I had somebody else. The lady that was under me, I taught her everything that I had to do. I took care of balancing. I took care of disbursements. It all had to do in Jefferson County with their bad checking in it. I made sure that if something would happen and I wasn't there, that she would be able to take care of it. Apparently, we do not have that in our office staff. So for these reasons, that's why I got to come today, and I'm requesting that that be done. But I really, really feel a forensic audit is necessary. And one of the reasons is when you have a budget and the department heads go to use that budget and the money's not there, something's wrong. I'm not accusing anyone of stealing, not even close. But I do believe that there's misappropriation going on, because if the fire department has money and that money is given to another department, or the police department, or the road department, I realize some of this can be juggled back and forth, but when it's set aside for training, for equipment, miscellaneous, and they go to use it and it's not there, again, there's a problem. So, thank you for your time. Glad to see you back all together.
Thank you.
I don't have any other, well, I need I need to make one quick deviation here and see whether the board's gonna be agreeable with this. I had down here to schedule a board meeting for Saturday. I will get you the agenda and give you the time with the schedules, the way they are. We need a quorum. So right now, I'm gonna set the time for Saturday at 8 o'clock, and I'll see whether Mr. Kearns, I'll try to get a quorum. I think if I call for the meeting, the agenda for that meeting will be to discuss personnel, and I hope to have the organization chart for you to approve. So I want to ask you to approve the organization chart at that meeting, and then have some discussion on personnel matters. Is this acceptable notice for you guys? And I will try to get a hold of Mr. Kearns. Any objections? No objections. Okay, the next meeting is Saturday at 8 o'clock. Now, can everybody make that here now?
I'm sorry.
8 o'clock, you good?
Yeah.
Gary?
Sorry, yeah, I'm here.
Good. Okay, well, we'll have a quorum, so we don't need to, I'll call in anyway. Okay, that's all we have then. We got lots of time. Anybody else has something constructive to say, we'd love to hear it. Hearing no comments, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, folks, for coming, and let's enjoy the rest of the evening. It's not raining.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay? Respect my space.